Hello fellow vapors. I'm going to be doing some reviews over a bunch of equipment that I've actually bought myself. First one is, we'll start off from the beginning. This is a starter set that I picked up, and I picked it up about 6 months ago to get into vaping to see if it was going to help me. This is the EVOD USB. I don't know if you can read that. Oops, sorry. We do that. A little hard to read. It does say EVOD USB. You can see the EVOD USB. It's a USB because it actually has a USB port on the bottom. This is what they call a USB pass-through, which means you can actually charge and vape at the same time. So here we will plug it in, switch it on. You'll see there's a nice little red light that's glowing. While the red light is glowing, I can vape. Because it's USB, you can plug it into a USB wall charger, you can plug it into a computer. I've got mine plugged into a battery pack. There we go, battery pack. So I can charge this on the go. This is a 1000 milliamp hour battery. You can get them in 650 if you find this one too long. I find the length of this one just perfect. It fits into my hand. My thumb is right by the button there. I get my vapor coming out of here, and it is really handy. Like I said, this is a starter kit. There are no funky things that you can do with this. It basically applies power to your atomizer, which is in here, if you're not sure what an atomizer is. This is called the atomizer, and inside there's an atomizer, something along those lines. Basically, it's a tank which holds a liquid. There's an atomizer which has the voltage coming from the battery, which turns the liquid into a vapor, and the vapor is what you vape with. So now this is a unit that I'm using. I've not been given any of these. I've actually paid for everything. Both me and my wife actually bought these units. We bought them about 6 months ago. This one is still in use. It is still used. Have no problem with this unit. It's, like I said, it's a simple little thing. It's got built-in protection. So if you hold the button down and you start vaping, and you keep the button down, what happens is after about 10 seconds, you'll see the light starts flashing. It automatically switches itself off and stops. It stops you from vaping until you let go of the button, then you can start vaping again. When you put it in your pocket, it's like easy enough to put in your pocket or hang it, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clicks, it will flash. It is now off. You can push the button, nothing happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clicks, switches it back on again. That's as simple as it gets. It's basically a battery. There are no adjustments on this. The only way you can adjust what level of heat or coolness you're getting is by adjusting the atomizer that you can get. You can get different ones. You can get 1.5, 1.8 to 2.2 ohm atomizers. Changing that will change maybe change the flavor of the vape, change how hot the vape is. But generally, this is a nice, simple little unit. It cost, I think it was about $40 for the unit, the tank, bottle of juice, USB charging cable, and a little carrying case that I could take it around. So you could put it into a carrying case and put it in your pocket. I found I didn't really use the carrying case for anything except putting extra bottle of juices in. This tank is the EVOD BCC. I'll get into a little bit about this. It is a 1.6 mil tank. If you're not a heavy vapor, probably enough to last you all day. I found I was filling it up 2 to 3 times a day. Being a 2-pack a day smoker, going into vaping, I found I was actually depending on this quite a bit, so I was using it, and I was finding that that tank was not big enough. Got a bigger tank, big deal. You can take the tanks off. See, there's the tank. Inside here, when you take this out, this is where the atomizer is. That atomizer is replaceable. Like I said, you just basically twist it off, twist it back on again. I can quickly show you that. Let me just put that there. This has got liquid on it, so I'm going to use a paper towel. Alright, so there's the ring. You see it's just a hole. I don't know if you can actually see this, but there are actually air holes in there. And then this is the atomizer. Like I said, I'm holding it because it's got juice on it. But that is the atomizer. You can get them in 5-packs. They're not that expensive. I think they're about $10 or so. Like I say, you just put it on there, you just screw it into place. It's now screwed in. Just wipe off any excess juice that I might have got on there. So that's how easy it is to replace this atomizer. For then, you've got the juice. You can see there is. It's a little tough to see inside there because my camera is not good. I don't know how to use it properly. But you can see how there's a hole in the center that goes down the middle. There is this metal tube that goes up. Do not fill it over the top of that metal tube or the juice will come running down the bottom here. And believe me, if you get juice in there. So basically, you tilt the tank, you fill it up. You can see in that little window there is, you can see where the top of that metal tube is. Do not fill it above there. The only complaint I have about this tank is that little window is a little small and it was a little hard to see where the level was, but you get pretty good after a while about knowing how to fill this up, so that's not a problem. Because I tilted this thing sideways, I probably got a little bit of juice in there, so I will get rid of that juice. Alright. Paper towels are very handy. If you're vaping, you'll probably have a lot of them around. Okay, so there's the unit. I'll see. You see there, you can see one of the little holes. There's 3 of them equal distance around there. So those are the air holes. You do not want to block those off when you're vaping, because if you do, you're not going to get as much vape. So once you've gotten your juice in, very simple to do, very simple to use. Like I said, basic unit, no frills. Pretty much it's a standby unit that we've got around here. Use it every time, every day. It's probably used a couple of times a week at least. You know, you need something, you don't have something, quickly pick this up, throw some juice in, off you go. If I'm going out gardening or something, I don't want to have an expensive unit that I might have bought. This thing, if it falls on the ground or breaks, big deal. It was like $40. I don't really care if anything happens to this one or if it breaks. It's pretty solid. Like with this around here, it's protecting the tank because you've just got these 2 little holes there. I think this is actually a glass tank, not a plastic tank. But very little can break on this. There's nothing really there, but it's a good one if you're doing something where you're worried about your equipment or you're going out, maybe going doing an ATV, you're going out on a boat or whatever. You don't want to take a big unit. You're worried about something. This is a nice, handy little unit to take with you. Not sure what I can tell you about them. The 1000 milliamp hour battery will probably last you all day. Like I said, I mean, if you're near a computer, you can just plug it into the USB and vape while it's charging at the same time. It will take about 4 hours to charge. You can get a 650 milliamp hour one, which is about an inch long, less than the length of this. But I mean, even this length, for me, that's handy. So if I went an inch less, it'd probably be about that long. You know, ignore this piece on the end there. So, you know, take your pick. I mean, some people may prefer the shorter ones. You can get extra batteries for this. The batteries are not too expensive. I think I picked up a spare battery for about $15, $20. This is all in Canadian prices, by the way. I'm from Canada. So, yay Canada, and happy Canada Day coming up on July 1st. You can buy extra batteries and you can have a couple of them charged up and take them with you out on the road, whatever. That way you don't have to worry about charging it. I've got my battery pack here, which is probably enough to charge this thing almost 3 times from dead flat. So I have no problem. Plus I spend a lot of time around computers, so this was very, very, very handy unit to have. If you don't like the green, my wife liked the green. I like the brushed silver. It comes in brushed silver too. Also comes in yellow, comes in maroon, comes in purple, comes in pink, comes in yellow. Do it to match your taste. Now the next thing is this has the ego threading on it. So, you know, we'll take this tank off. Alright, there we go. A little hard to see, but there are some threads right there on the outside. There's also some threads on the inside of that hole there. That is where your battery connector is. So basically this is just a battery with a switch on it. What we can do is we can add something which has got a 510 thread. So, like I said, that tank was only 1.6 mils, not enough. This is a big, huge tank. Holds about 4 mils of liquid. If we put that on there, it just sits on like that. You'll see that it looks not too good because you've got all this whatever in there. These tanks usually come with a thing called a beauty ring. There we go, that's a beauty ring. It's got some threading on it. So you turn it over, you thread it onto this unit. Then we'll put on this. And now you don't see that threading. It looks, you know, like it almost goes to the right point. So, and so it will work with different kind of tanks like a 510. You don't have to buy anything extra if you buy a tank. There are certain units that only have 510 threading, so if you want to use one of the tanks with the ego threading on it, you have to buy an adapter. This one, it has both threading on it. So for us, we've moved on to better and bigger tanks. I mean, I've also, you know, we've got a couple more. I would always use the tanks that you buy, like with tanks and atomizers that you put inside, or the atomizers that you put inside. Do not use this on a dripper. It's probably going to burn out your battery, or something's going to go wrong with it. It is not designed for anything but these atomizers that you can buy. You can get them in 1.5, 1.8 to 2.2, maybe even 2.5 ohms now. I would use it with those kind of tanks, with those pre-built atomizers that come in. It's not too expensive. You can get atomizers in packs of 5 for like $10 or $15. Atomizer, I find, usually lasts about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how much you vape and depending on what kind of juice you're using. $15, you know, there's 5 of them in there. So let's say they're $15 for 5. That's $3 each. $3 for 2 weeks, say. You got 5 of them in there. That's 2.5 months that you're spending $15 on for atomizers. Not very expensive. This unit has been used for 6 months so far. It's still going. You can get replacement, just the battery bottom for around about $20. I mean, $20 and it's still going after 6 months. It's probably going to be going for another 6 months at least. There's no indicator on the battery level on this. This thing will just stop working when the battery runs out. Like I said, you should have enough in there to last a day. Anyway, this is a unit that I bought. I did not get given this. I've used it, I've tested it. It's a nice basic unit for starting out. So there you go. If you're thinking about starting out with vaping or thinking of switching from regular cigarettes to see if vaping will actually help you get away from regular cigarettes, I'm not going to say it's to stop smoking, but you can get away from them a little bit. I did, and it really did help me. This is a really, really good way to start, to see, because you're only going to spend about $40. Find out if it's going to help you. If it does, great, you can continue on. If it doesn't, you've only spent $40, which is the price nowadays of what, 2 packs, 3 packs of smokes. not a bad investment to check to see if it's going to help you to stop smoking. So anyway, this is from Kanger. I will post the link to Kanger's website on the video as well. Happy vaping, and hope to see you all in future videos.